Hello viewers, thanks for clicking on the video. Hopefully you're going to enjoy what you see. So pretty much what we're doing today is going to be the start of my RaceRoom experience. I got this game recommended to me from a channel called Orange Rug Gaming when I was asking him some advice on, which sim racer does he recommend. And the reason I think he really enjoys this game, but the reason he recommended this one in particular is because it's free to start. So basically you can download like a base pack for free and you get a handful of cars, handful of tracks to sort of test out, see if you like it. I'd say just really extensive demo, to be honest, and there's quite a bit of content in there, and that did sort of see me through for a couple of days. And then I was just like, oh, what else have they got? What cars can I get? What tracks can I get? And basically the way it works is you'll go in, there's like a starter pack, a pro pack, a few different packs. You can buy sets of cars, things like that. You can buy everything outright, which I think at the moment is on offer for about £90, or you can buy everything individually, which I think is the route I'm going to go down, because I probably won't end up with everything. We'll see, maybe in a year's time I'll be like, I've got it all. But yeah, I think I'm going to pick a car and pick a track sort of each month and just stick with it and just practice and get as good as I can on that particular car and track. And then the following month I'll switch. So maybe I might do like 2 videos a month, sort of hopefully, one near the beginning where I've just got it and, sort of here's me doing this race with no real practice and a new car and everything. And then one sort of towards the end of the month where it's like, right, now I've practiced, now I know how the car handles and everything. And, we'll see a progression each month, and then hopefully over the course of the year. I'm not going to be going online anytime soon, because I don't want to be ruining other people's races, and I'm definitely going to be doing that because I do alright qualifying and everything. I can normally hold my own, but as soon as I get into a race I forget to look at the road. I concentrate on the cars and boom, I just smack into the back of them, and I don't want to ruin people's races and their online experience just yet, so I definitely want to get good before I go online. In this race I downloaded and paid for the 2020 version of the BMW M4 DTM, which is an outstanding car. I think I already had, I got the Audi as well, but I think that was in the starter pack. And they're both excellent. If you've got no assists on, they're hilarious to drive. I was just ragging around, sort of getting the back end out, almost drifting. Just brilliant. In the race I did pop on the stability control onto low, and I put the ABS on. Everything else I still left off, so there's no counter steer help, there's no traction control or anything like that. Everything else, like I said, I left off. And yeah, it's a bit more manageable. You can still feel it going if you're a bit aggressive on the accelerator out of the corners. But I managed to finish the race sort of after the 3rd attempt, I think. You would have seen at the beginning a couple of the failed attempts. As for the AI themselves, they're a bit hit and miss, I'd say. I got it on adaptive to start with, and I definitely found that they were a bit sort of aggressive. They didn't care that I was taking the line. They would just smash me sideways. But this race I sort of avoided them. I preempted what they were going to be doing. They braked once, I thought they'll probably brake again, and then, just sort of paid a bit more attention, I guess, and I seemed to get around fairly unscathed. I think I had a couple of issues, a couple of contacts, but one of them was actually my fault, I think. But we'll sweep that under the rug. I did try them on 100 and 110. I did one race with them on 110, and I qualified 9th and ended the race sort of 12th or 13th. I can't remember if it was 12th or 13th now. So I lost a few positions, more so due to my driving. There's definitely a few corners that I still need to practice on. When I watch the replays back, I'm like, I'm not even touching the apex. I'm far from an apex legend. Whack, whack, whack. And it's definitely, obviously, sim racing is hardcore. You got to practice. My only sim racing experience really is Gran Turismo Sport. Now I know people call that Simcade, and they, people on PC sort of laugh and say, that's not sim racing, but it's not arcade either. It's you definitely have to pay a bit more attention on there. But this, so far has felt incredible. I've only got a basic setup, just using the G29 wheel. Obviously I've got the pedals. Do have a shifter, but I didn't set it up for this race. It's not required. And I've tinkered around with the force feedback and sort of all the settings there, and I've definitely say I've got it feeling very good. Might turn down the vibration slightly because some of the straights are a bit bumpy and it's, you know, sort of rattling your hands. But it's all in all feeling very, very good. So I can only imagine what it feels like on, you know, sort of a Fanatec or, you know, something far superior. I bet it feels incredible. But I'm happy with what I've got. And you know, I do recommend this if you've got PC and you're into racers, even if you're an arcade racer. You know, it's free, and you may find something that you like from it. There's no harm in downloading it and giving it a go. You don't have to drop any money on it if you don't want to. And yeah, pretty much I'm just gonna, like I said, go through this year, sticking to this game. I'll play other games on the side, but I've definitely been fluctuating. I've struggled to get into a game lately. It's, you know, I've sort of flicking between PS5 and PC, and I'm like, oh, I want to play that, now I'll play this, now I'll play that. Whereas I just thought, right, new year, I'm just going to stick to one sort of game. I'm just going to play this. This is going to be my main game of the year. I have tried out Automobilista 2 and ACC as well, but this one just sort of grabbed me straight out the gate. You know, like just the first couple of races, I was impressed with this, and it felt very good. And maybe slightly more accessible for me. I definitely like the business model. I'm sure some people don't, but I sort of like that you don't have to pay for everything. And like I said, I'll just do a car and a track each month, and it's less overwhelming. You know, it's not quite so daunting. You haven't got hundreds of cars and hundreds of tracks and be like, oh my god, where do I start? You know, I just start where I buy a car and a track. And the good thing is, before you pay for the cars, you can test drive every car as much as you want. I'm not sure you can pick a track. So far I think you only go on one particular like sort of test track that RaceRoom have designed, but you can test, like I said, you can test out the cars and, you know, sort of try before you buy, which is also very good. I don't think you can test out the tracks before you buy them. If you can, I'll drop that in the description and let you know that I'm wrong and I don't know what I'm on about. Oh, look at this. So when you do that, when you do a nice little overtake, it feels very good. I did end up winning this race. I think I didn't even do qualifying actually in this race. I just sort of booted it up, went straight into the race after some practice, and it started me 6th, which I think is like its default start position. And yeah, I got like 32 cars on tracks. And what I like about the AI, I've got them on adaptive. Like I said, I did try them on 100, but I put them back on adaptive. I just figured, you know, we'll see how they go. if they mimic me, maybe that's why I keep getting hit up the arse, is because they're just copying me. But it felt good. It didn't feel super challenging on adaptive, but hopefully the better I get, the better they get. I think that's the idea behind it. And yeah, hopefully going forward I can just up the difficulty and select, you know, sort of 100, 110, maybe one day 120. I'll avoid online for a while. I don't want to be that guy, so I'll just stick with the AI and some time trials. And yeah, hopefully you'll follow me on my journey. Hopefully I haven't bored you to tears. If you have enjoyed this, like and subscribe, all the usual jazz, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now.